Ladies and gentlemen, fight fans all around the world. Hold on a second.
We're gonna talk some boxing. You know, a lot of people say that Mayweather could still beat Floyd Mayweather. All right, cool. Y'all say that officially. All right, Troy King just broke down the fight. Mayweather won 8-4. Rolly Romero said he thought Mayweather won the fight. He won the first 5 rounds. He just had 2 more to win. Same thing I said. But now, Oscar De La Hoya just recently came out. He got interviewed. Yeah, I think a couple of hours ago. He said how he had 2 torn rotator cuffs when he faced Floyd Mayweather. That he was a bit past. You know, it's so funny when boxers make these excuses because Floyd came out and he spoke about how he had 2 messed up arms in the Pacquiao fight. Yet he still won. Going back to the Jose Luis Castillo fight, Floyd had a torn rotator cuff in that fight. And we saw that he had a torn rotator cuff. It wasn't just an excuse. It's a legitimate excuse. But he still won. Okay? My point being, he could have 3 torn rotator cuff injuries, or he could have all his 8 rotator cuffs injured. Okay? He still would have to find a way to win and get the W. Floyd fought with 2 messed up hands against Carlos Hernandez. 2 broken hands. And won. Okay? He had 2 broken hands, and a busted up eye, and a busted up nose against Emmanuel Augustus, and still stopped him. So losers make excuses. Because a true champion can fight through anything and win. Winners win. Losers make excuses. So it didn't matter if Oscar De La Hoya had 1,000,000 rotator cuff damage injuries. It didn't matter. You still get the W. Okay? Now, if he had that massive set of injuries that he's talking about, it means he had it over time. Which means in the Ricardo Mayorga fight, I ain't hear nothing about no rotator cuff problems. Didn't he have rotator cuff problems then? You didn't just get 2 injuries just before the Mayweather fight. If you have rotator cuff issues and you old like that, you had them for a long time. So he bullshitting us. Was he saying, oh, I had 2 rotator? So you didn't have it before? All right. Pacquiao talked about his arms giving him problems. He didn't talk about the better man won. You know, that's what I appreciate about Anthony Joshua. He's a stand-up guy. Again, people will say, well, you're a Joshua fan. It had nothing to do with being a Joshua fan, even though I am. But I ain't a Joshua fan more than I'm a Deontay Wilder fan. I'm more a Tyson Fury fan than both of them. And I gave Tyson Fury flack for cheating because he cheated. I don't care what nobody said. He cheated with the gloves. But I'm a Tyson Fury fan, but I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm a Mayweather fan, but I told y'all he cherry-picked Andre Berto. The Conor McGregor fight is not considered, in my opinion, as a top-tier fight like the other fights he had. His standard was very high until Andre Berto or Conor McGregor. And I will maintain that. I will never change that. Does it mean that 50-0 is not valid? Of course not. 50-0 is valid, but I'm just saying their last 2 fights wasn't the standard that he had before. Okay? And he picked Berto. Berto didn't pick him. He picked Berto. Okay? He wanted that Berto fight, and he finally got his Berto fight. Is what it is. That's his thing. That's the guy he wanted to face. Okay. It was a cherry pick by his standards. Probably Berto wouldn't be a cherry pick for other people, but He would cherry pick for his standards. And y'all say I'm rough and I'm crude on Floyd and stuff. And y'all can say what you want. It's still a cherry pick. I understand that he wanted to clean up guys in his era. He didn't want to go beyond his era. Berto was a guy from his era. Okay, I get it. I get it. Still, cherry pick. Fair is fair. This is the guy he wanted to face. This is the guy he picked. Okay, that's why it's called a cherry pick. Was it a good cherry pick? Yeah, of all the cherries you could pick, that's a good cherry. Nobody's saying no. All right, he did face all the guys of his era, okay, and he beat them all. So it's all good. I'm just saying that it's still a cherry pick. I was expecting him to come out there and face somebody who really could present some kind of challenge to him. Not saying that Berto, couldn't present a challenge, but Berto don't have no fucking defense to start with. And Virgil Hunter was building him back up. He had a good win against Josecito Lopez, stopping him. But I know Berto was strong, and Berto showed it in the fight. Kept coming. Even in the Sean Porter fight, he kept coming. Okay, getting his ass whooped in the corner. But Berto didn't really, how do I put it? Berto didn't really get stopped. Getting his ass whooped. Okay. By Sean Porter. He didn't get the Paulie Malignaggi treatment that Sean Porter gave Paulie Malignaggi. But, he was getting his ass whooped. He was coming back, but he was getting his ass whooped. And, we saw what Porter did to Berto, and that's why, Berto will be holding his own still to this day, but, I would have been intrigued if Floyd had fought one of them young cats. Kell Brook was the guy at the time, the number one welterweight. You had Errol Spence, you had Keith Thurman, and you had Porter. I wanted him to face Kell Brook at the time. Timothy Bradley had retired, so it was that kind of thing. It was either Brook or Thurman. Thurman would be chirping away. But I'd love to see Floyd versus Thurman, but he chose not to go into that generation. He never set his foot into that generation. Pacquiao did. He had fought a lot of guys from that generation. He fought Chris Algieri, was contemporary of Thurman and Day. Then after that, he fought Adrian Broner. Then he fought Lucas Matthysse. Lucas Matthysse was not really of that generation. Lucas Matthysse was a little bit before them. It was just in between Marcos Maidana's time and Danny Garcia's time. So it was kind of like his foot was in the water, kind of out of the water, Because Victor Postol had already stopped Lucas Matthysse when he faced Lucas Matthysse, but he faced Lucas Matthysse. Okay, and then he fought Keith Thurman, which was that generation. But people that always say, he ducked Thurman to face Andre Berto. Thurman didn't have a problem with Andre Berto getting it. So I wouldn't say he ducked Thurman. And Berto did his best against Floyd, but it's just, the public perception of Berto at the time was that, he had gotten beaten by, Robert Guerrero. He got beaten by Victor Ortiz. He had been beaten by Soto Karass. Everybody kind of figured out you just bully Berto, and you could always land shots on him. And even when it's comeback fights, Berto was a punching bag. Josecito Lopez could just land shots on him. So he had no kind of defense. So we just never thought that at any time Berto had a chance to beat Floyd. That's why I would say he's a cherry pick, because it's like talking about Floyd Mayweather. You're not talking about like Victor Ortiz or these guys. You're talking about top tier guys. We didn't even know if Berto would hang with the top tier guys. You know what I mean? So I mean, Berto's been in the game for a quick minute as well. He's a veteran of the sport, knows a lot of stuff. But when it comes to like Floyd facing off with him, I mean, everybody know how to beat Berto. You know what I'm saying? Everybody know how to beat Berto. So I mean, that's the thought process behind it. So that's why you said he cherry picked. Anyway, back to what I was saying. So yeah, losers make excuses, man. Losers make excuses. Salty people talk about people who beat Floyd, and they ain't talking from a boxing perspective. They talking about they walked him down and stuff. Castillo did not beat Floyd. Okay, Castillo did not beat Floyd. No way in hell. Floyd took the first 5 rounds. Okay, he only needed 2 more rounds. Okay, just like how we say Cotto didn't beat Floyd, because Floyd took the 12th round. All right, Cotto made a great surge, as Castillo did, but it was late. It was late. He had to, you can't come back in a fight. And then Castillo get penalized a point in round 8, round 7 or 8, one of them. He got penalized a point for foul play. For what was it? He hitting on the break. He keep on hitting before the referee says stop or some shit like that, or just after the referee say break or something. He was hitting Floyd or something. I think it's legal to hit Floyd after the break, so I think it was just before the break. The referee would say stop, and the motherfucker would keep on hitting Floyd, rabbit punches and shit. He was fighting him a bit dirty. You have to fight Floyd a bit dirty. That's what Robert Garcia made Marcos Maidana fight him dirty. He said, fight him dirty, motherfucker. Fight him dirty. You don't win him in a boxing match. You got to fight him dirty. And Marcos Maidana fought him dirty. He fought him dirty as fuck. You know what I'm saying? And it's all good. It's a fight. You got to win somehow. You got to wear him down somehow. You know what I mean? And but anyway, Castillo, he got penalized a point on top of that. So it's like Floyd got a 5-round lead on your ass. You had to play catch up, and Castillo did a hell of a job trying to play catch up. You know what I'm saying? Castillo always tried to make you fight and stuff. And in the end, I think round 9, round 10, I think round 9, Floyd got penalized a point, so Castillo got that round for, I think, using his forearm or something. He got penalized a point. Round 10 was like a dogfight. They were sitting in the trenches just trading. Round 11 was the same thing. It was a dogfight again. And then round 12 was a dogfight. So you had 3 straight rounds where it was just a dogfight. Nobody was taking a step back. Motherfuckers were fighting right down to the bell. Right down to the bell. The final bell of the fight, they were trading shots. They made it into Castillo made it into a dogfight. It was great. It was great. But this is not something that Floyd hadn't experienced before. And I keep on explaining to people. Jose Luis Castillo. Shout out to the people viewing this video right now. Smash that like button if you like it. If you don't like it, don't worry about it. He had experienced the fight before. The very fight before, he fought Jesus Chavez. And I'm going to tell you that fight was a dog fight as well. It came down to being a dog fight. Floyd was getting better because Chavez, he started tagging his ass up. But it was a dog fight. Chavez kept coming. That motherfucker kept coming. He kept coming. He eats shots and just keep on coming. And he was bringing the heat, okay? So it wasn't, he fought Emmanuel Augustus. That fight was taxing. He had 2 busted hands, a busted nose, and a busted eye. That's how bad Emmanuel Augustus was getting to him. And it's, thankfully he tagged up. Emmanuel Augustus looked like a mess himself at the end of the fight. But that was a real fucking fight. Okay, that was a real fucking fight in which Floyd kind of didn't have as much experience. He was trying to get Castillo out of there. And not Castillo, Emmanuel Augustus. And if you guys haven't watched The Drunken Master, Emmanuel Augustus, I think Buddy McGirt talked about, guys today wouldn't fuck with Emmanuel Augustus. He would beat a lot of them. I don't know if he beat them, all of them, because the guys today, they're on a different level to the guys of Floyd's time. They're on a different level. Again, every era is different, okay? These guys are much more committed to boxing than the guys of yesteryear. It's just nutrition and shit, but I'd say this. Emmanuel Augustus has tested every single guy he's faced. until when he got older. Then he really started to get, beat up and shit. He called the drunken master. The guy can't roll punches. He can't ride punches. Um, he got a beautiful movement where he feints as he's coming in. He does that shoulder thing, and he kind of, his movement is interesting. Very interesting. He give you angles straight through. Okay, and he had beautiful footwork, and he almost dance on you as he's fighting you. He's beautiful to watch. Beautiful fighter to watch. He should have been a world champion several times over, but he would B-side, and they fuck up the B-side. His decisions didn't go his way. Against John Molina, he should have won that fight. He never got the decision. It's just what it is. His handlers, man. His handlers, but the motherfucker was beautiful to watch. Okay, and for those people, people think the Castillo fight was like, the awakening fight. I remember Larry Merchant was in great happiness because he thought that Floyd was gonna get his ass whooped by Castillo, but I thought that them guys started to rumble. Floyd couldn't use his left hand like he wanted to, and they started rumbling, man. They started fighting in the trenches. It was great. It was a great fight for that reason. Floyd was still boxing him on the outside when he could and pot shot him, but for the most part, they started trench fighting. And they started that shit somewhere around round 9, I think. They started fighting in the trenches, and it went all the way to round 12. And Floyd did get clocked, some clean shots by Castillo. Don't get me wrong. Castillo was the bigger dude, and he was really coming. He was bringing it, and he was bringing it in a nice boxing strategic way to get to the inside. To go in on the floor. But Floyd started answering his ass in the 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th round. They sat down and they just put it on. And I remember Roger Mayweather telling Floyd in the 10th round, you got to fight him. You got to meet him, and you got to beat his ass, and you got to push him back. And so Floyd just started to fight in the trenches. He just started fighting him. And it showed, and see, that's a lot of people don't know, Floyd ain't just this guy who could fight on the outside and pot shot you, and you can't touch him, that kind of thing. And if he's not in control, no, the motherfucker can fight. If he needs to fight, he will sit down and fight you. And we saw it a couple times in super featherweight, So he ain't got a problem fighting because he do that. He did it in sparring. He fight guys in sparring. Guys be shocked. They'll be like, he thought he was just gonna be pretty and pot shot, and then he realized he walking to your ass. Next minute they realize, oh shit, he walking my ass down. He beating my ass up. Okay? He's sharp as fuck. He don't stop you. He punish your ass. He punish you till you quit, or he punish you till your handlers pull you out of the ring and say, hey, fuck me, we gotta stop this shit. And we talking about he punished you so bad. You can't remind me of Muhammad Ali in that respect. He punished you so bad, it blood everywhere. Clarissa Shields' promoter talked about how he got a black eye facing Floyd because he went into the ring to face Floyd and realized he's a different animal in there. He's not the animal you see. Even the Pretty Boy Floyd y'all see with performances, when Pretty Boy Floyd, they said Floyd was even worse when he's sparring. Because when he's sparring, he talking that shit, and he talking that shit, and he also punishing your ass. And it gets brutal in those sparring sessions. They talk about sparring sessions Floyd had with other fighters, and it was so brutal that they pulled the guy from the ring, and the guy like collapsed afterwards. That's how nasty it was. Like, he'd punish you. He'd punish you. Some of them guys, their careers were wrecked because this motherfucker sparring them. Y'all don't understand. This is not a game. Boxing's not a fucking game. When they say Floyd got in the ring and knocked out a heavyweight, okay? Of course, he wasn't an elite heavyweight, but the guy was talking the talk, and Floyd said, suit that shit up. Suit me up. We're talking about super featherweight here, okay? He goes and rumbles with a heavyweight, hit him with a body punch, put the guy down, guy can't get back up and continue. And Floyd be trash talking his ass straight through. He punishing him, kind of remind me of the attitude of Michael Jordan, just a mean ass spirited guy in the ring against another guy, trash talking like a motherfucker, straight through. Muhammad Ali was like, what my motherfucking name? He wouldn't cuss, he wouldn't say motherfucker, but what's my name? And he beating the guy that was telling him he was Cassius Clay. It's that mean spirited kind of, piercing motherfucking, you getting trash talk while you getting your ass whooped and you getting busted up. Fuck out of here, man. Y'all really don't understand, man. Did y'all feel that Floyd was just one of them guys from, you know, the past eras who he was good, but when it come to trading and shit, motherfucker can throw combinations. He just don't do it because he want to save his hands. But if he have to, he would throw combinations on your ass. It don't matter if his hand's broken or not. He just crack combinations on your ass. Floyd can throw combinations. People don't know that. He choose to pot shot your ass. Canelo's doing the same now. Canelo's not, you know, he's doing old school. He pot shot you. When he break you down, then he'll crash you. You know, when that's how the old school go. You know, he pot shot you. Even Sugar Ray Leonard used to do this. Pot shot you, pat. Okay, I found something. Okay. Now when the fighters, you know, as Roy Jones Jr. would tell you, when a fighter, you see the vulnerability and he's slowing down, and his defense is open like that, then you start throwing your combinations and getting him out of there. Okay, and again, you're very cautious in doing it. You're watching to see how his reaction time is and everything. When you slow down, his reaction time ain't shit. That's when you take him out like a motherfucker. You know, because you want to do it with with the lowest amount of risk for the highest amount of reward. In boxing, ain't nobody paying you for extra time. So if you can get a fighter out of there, you know, you get him out of there. You know what I'm saying? So, yo, there's Jerome Phillip, man. Hey, what's up, my nephew? That's my nephew. You know what I'm saying? So that's what's up with boxing. You know, I'm not saying that I am the chieftain of boxing or the great king of boxing, but when it comes to that dude called Floyd Mayweather, it's not as easy as you guys think. You know, a lot of people think that Mayweather is just a guy that's easy to solve, like a Rubik's Cube, and he was just defense. Dude wasn't just defense, okay? It's just that he perfected the craft, so he didn't have to use a whole set of offense. You know what I mean? Anyway, man, I'm going to talk to you guys later on what you need. You're watching my channel. Shout out to all the people, including my nephew in the UK. I hope you okay, man. My nephew just came through. He pulled his message, but a shout out to my nephew out there. Like I said, if you look at this video, it's not made for kids, so I have been cursing a bit. I'm trying to stop it, but nonetheless. But we try to break down fights out here, okay? There's a reason I say that Mayweather's TBE. I'm not trying to front that he's TBE. I'm not trying to like pretend like I'm some fanboy or something. You know, I'm giving you guys the real facts. All right. If you ask me, I like Mike McCallum. Like right now, like Mike McCallum. I always like Pernell Whitaker. Okay. Pernell Whitaker could have been another unbeaten champion. He was robbed. Roy Jones Jr. should have been an unbeaten champion. All right. And they did him in with that guy who what's his name? That he just blitzed in the second fight. I mean, he hit him with a left hook from hell, all the way down from the bottom of the ground. He hit him with that bowler punch, left hook. You know, looping shot. Boom! I'm trying to remember what his name is, from Chicago. Begins with M. But anyway, sometimes I draw a blank. But yeah, Roy Jones Jr. should have been undefeated. Sugar Ray Leonard should have been undefeated if he just didn't play into Roberto Duran's game. He'd have beaten him. Easy would have beaten him. You know? It's sometimes the decision making these guys did. You know? Would Muhammad Ali have been unbeaten if they hadn't pulled him away from boxing? Probably. You don't know. I can't really say. But there's some guys who could have been undefeated were it not for certain circumstances. With Roy, they took it from Roy. I don't care what nobody say, they took that from Roy. You know, they say, oh, Roy hit him when he was down. Lomachenko hit a lot of people when they down. And nobody took it from him. Salido beat his ass early, you know what I'm saying? But they robbed Pernell. The first time Pernell boxed Jose Ramirez, okay? The first time he boxed Jose Ramirez, they robbed him, man. He outboxed him. I mean, he boxed circles around him, and they took that from him. So on behalf of Roy Jones Jr., on behalf of Pernell Whitaker, you know, it was taken from them. It wasn't that they made poor decisions. It was taken from them. Yeah, okay, Pernell stayed longer than he should have in the game. And Whitaker, he made a poor choice trying to attack and knock out Felix Trinidad. Okay, fine. But other than that, these guys, it had been taken from them. You know, Roy was a guy that, I can't remember the guy's name for nothing. It was taken from him with that fight, you know. And that's why Roy was so spiteful against the guy in the second fight and just blitzed him out of there, you know, because that guy who pretended like he got slumped, maybe he didn't pretend, but whether or not, I felt it was unfair to Roy that they just pulled it from him and DQ him, you know, and get the other guy a title for falling over on his face. You know what I mean? They didn't DQ Floyd when Roger jumped into the ring, right? Of course, Zab did hit Floyd with a low blow, and it looked intentional to me. Zab was telling a different story, but it looked intentional to me. So 2 wrongs don't make it right. But yet, you know, Roger was the one that stepped in the ring, so they did. But they didn't take the fight from Floyd. Now, if they really was like, you know, like wanted to go after Floyd like they were going after Roy, they were taking that fight from Floyd. But of course, Floyd was the top rank at the time. Roy was his own boss. You know what I mean? He was his own manager. And that's why they went in on Roy like that. You know, people don't realize they get anti-Roy or anti-Floyd because he's now owned by himself. There ain't no white man owning him. You know what I mean? Roy was his own boss. Floyd was his own boss. Bernard Hopkins was his own boss to some degree. He worked for Golden Boy on contract, but he managed his own self. He had no promoter really. And so they went in on Hopkins as well. And then they went in on Andre Ward. Andre Ward was with, not DeBella, he was with, all these names come up instead of the name I'm looking for. Joe Goosen. He was with Goosen Promotions. Dan Goosen, right? Dan Goosen ended up dying of cancer, and the family freed Andre Ward off his contract. And Andre Ward then was able to do what he wanted to do, okay? And manage his own affairs. And Mikey Garcia, same thing. And so you find that they go against Mikey Garcia because Mikey Garcia came out of contract with Top Rank. You find that they anti, you know, Andre Ward because Andre Ward owned his own brand. You know, he had much more control over the fights he could have. You know, HBO was kind of mandating what he would do next. You know, they go in on you when you're your own boss. They started going after Cotto because Cotto was his own boss, calling his own shots. He had his own promotional company, especially later on in his career, talking about Cotto's a diva and all that. But really, the truth is, Cotto was his own boss, so he can call his own shots. And people didn't like that. Anyway, I'm going to get out of here. I'm what you need. I just wanted to talk about the excuses people make. Winners win. They don't make no damn excuses. All right? And even if they tell you after the fight, well, you know, this was messed up and that was messed up, it don't really matter because they won. Okay? And you find that a winning mentality, a winner, might sometimes have worse conditions and worse problems than the other fighter. All right? Sometimes they're not as skilled as the other fighter. I think of Steve Collins. Steve Collins beat Chris Eubank Sr. twice. He beat him twice. He wasn't as skilled as Chris Eubank Sr., you know. Gavin Knight wasn't as good a boxer, but he found a way to win. All right, so if you have 2 messed up rotator cuff arms, you could say that if you won the fight. But if you didn't win the fight, just say the better man won. Deontay Wilder, Tyson Fury whooped that ass. He beat him bad, right? Tyson Fury beat Deontay Wilder. But you know the thing is, Deontay Wilder, he was making some of the stupidest excuses ever. And even if you did fight 2 back-to-back fights too close, that's on you, brother. That's on you. You chose to do that. So you had to find a way to win, even though you was fighting overtrained. You had to find a way to win, because winners win. You make decisions. So I talk about decision making. You make decisions. You better follow through with it and get the results you need, because you can't use those decisions later on to make excuses. That's like me saying, "Hey, man, I chose to steal, and the police caught me, and I'm put in prison." So you made that decision, bro. You chose to steal, but it was because and you could give a sad story after, but you chose to steal. You could have done something else. You chose to steal. Decision making. You have to be responsible for your decision making. So if you made a certain decision, now you got to follow through with that to the end. All right. Well, Cedric Kovalev talk about, I fought back-to-back fights too close. I didn't expect myself to win. That's something you then, bro. I always expect to win. If you're going into a fight or going into a competition, you expect to win. You want to fight to win. All right. And yeah, okay. So you overtrain, but that's not a good excuse for why you lost. Cause real true champions find a way to win. They find a way to win. Anthony Joshua made no excuses when he lost to Andy Ruiz. There's a lot of things that happened in the background. He said, "I'm not going to talk about that." He said, "I just wanted an immediate rematch." And that's how a real champion, a true champion, talks. So when they said could still beat Floyd Mayweather, I said, okay, but then they can do it again. He should have beat him again. The second time he should have beat him. If he beat him the first time, then he should be able to beat him the second time. The way you guys talking, you're confident that he beat him. Okay, then run it back again, and let's just see. But when they ran it back again, what happened? Floyd beat him. So what did that mean? Mean he beat him the first time. They say that Sergey Kovalev, he beat Andre Ward, right? He beat him the first fight. So run it back again. Let's see. Or stopped him the second fight. He not only beat him, he stopped him. What did that mean? It means he didn't win the first fight. All right. They said Triple G beat Canelo the first fight. We said run it back again. What happened? Canelo walked him down, beat him up. He beat him comprehensively. Everybody could see he beat him the second fight. They say Triple G, outboxing, used the jab. No, he didn't. Okay. He tried to see. You got to understand. A guy will use a jab to try and break you down. And that's what Triple G do with his jab. You saw what happened in the David Lemieux fight. That didn't happen in the Canelo fight. Canelo wasn't having it. Canelo wasn't taking a step back. He was walking down Triple G, keeping his defense tight and walking him down and landing power shots like crazy. How many power shots did Triple G land? In both fights against Canelo. Canelo's the one landing the more power shots. That's the whole purpose of the fight, is to land power shots so you can get the guy out of there. He didn't stop Triple G in the second fight, but sure as hell give him a good beating. That's why they're saying Triple G old now. The two Canelo fights had a wear and tear on him. Of course they did. Of course they did. He tough, but he getting broken down. All right. Everybody know Derevyanchenko beat Triple G. Why don't they run it back again? If Triple G's a real true champion, they ran it back with Canelo. Okay, run it back with Derevyanchenko. He don't want to see Lomachenko. He don't want to see Derevyanchenko. He don't want to see that dude. He don't want no more of that. He got beat the first fight. We all know this. Okay, Derevyanchenko got dropped early, but he got beat that fight. Now, that's being true. But if Triple G a true champion, right, like he said, he claims he is, he'll run it back again. And we'll see. We'll see if he won that or he lost that fight. It's simple. And if he beat him the second time, then he did beat him the first time. It's that simple. Run it back again. You a boxer. You collected that data, so it should be easy for you the second time around. Right? I'm just saying. He don't want nothing to do with Derevyanchenko. He don't want to see that guy again. Ever. Okay? So that's what a real champion do. They said Oscar De La Hoya beat Floyd Mayweather. Right? So Floyd was trying to run it back again with Oscar, I think, at welterweight. And that's why I was trying to lose the weight to get down to welterweight to face Floyd. course, that fight never happened because Pacquiao put him to sleep. Pacquiao retired Oscar. He retired him. Right? In 2008, he retired him from boxing. And that was on Oscar. Oscar said, oh, I can make the weight and stuff. Okay, fine. You can make the weight. It's on you from there on in. You came in 145 on the scales. 145. They're just stupid, man. You're a big ass dude. You at least come in 147, unless somewhere Pacquiao the stipulation you come in 145 on the day of the fight. You come in 147, which would be stupid for you. You agreed to that stuff. You dumb, because you never was a 147 pounder. I mean, you was once upon a time, but you outgrew that a long time ago. You know, solid 154, big 154. That was on him. Cotto, same thing. That's on you. You know, you can't use an excuse to, yeah, okay, you wasn't the best Miguel Cotto, you wasn't the best Oscar De La Hoya, but it was on you. You can't make that an excuse that you didn't win the fight. No, you agreed to that stuff, right? Anyways, people, I'm out of here. I'm what you need. It's 4-something in the morning. I just got up, and so I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I saw my boy, my cousin, come through and hail, and then he pulled his comment. I'm gonna catch you guys later. Peace.